The divot drill. Low point control is a critical skill. In order to consistently strike the golf ball, you need proper turf interaction. This means the lowest point of your swing is always on the target side of the golf ball. Some golfer swings are shallower than others, but for every non-driver swing, the low point needs to be at or in front of the golf ball for proper contact. I find that the best results with wedges and irons involve taking a divot and compressing the ball. This drill will get you flushing irons or wedges like never before, and you'll develop the skill to use shot feedback to know how well you struck the ball without tools. Setup. In the app, you'll select whether you're doing this drill at home or at the course practice facility. If you're doing this at home, you'll need a divot board and a net. If you're doing it at the course, you'll need tees or impact spray. Set up any additional items you might want to track, such as aim, distance control, or mental scorecard. I suggest leaving these off until you get familiar with the drill. Validate the club that you're using and change it if necessary. You'll choose the level of the drill you want to do. I suggest starting at the first level and progressing through the levels as you pass and improve. This may sound tedious to do at different distances, but you'll find that your technique and swing may differ from club to club and throughout the bag. For example, you might be great with longer swings with a wedge and really struggle on shorter or partial swings. Now that the app is ready to go, we can start the drill. If you're using a divot board, you'll simply clean the board and place the ball in the middle of the board. Since most boards are raised off the ground and will be higher than your feet, I like to choke up on the club a little bit to get a more realistic lie angle. If you're on the range, you'll set up 2 tees or use divot spray to create a line perpendicular to your target. For each shot, you'll set a ball in the line or imaginary line that you've created. We're ready to perform the drill. Performing the drill on the range. With the ball in the middle of your line or imaginary line on the turf, or in the middle of your divot board, you'll take a swing to advance the ball to your target. Take a look at the turf or divot board after the shot. There should be a scuffed part of the grass on the ground, indicating where your club took a divot. If there's not a mark or the mark is very thin, then you did not have a divot and that would be considered thin. Mark none on the app as there was no divot. Now, assuming you did take a divot and there's a mark on the ground with grass missing or disturbed, or a mark on your divot board, let's pay special attention to where this divot starts. If it starts behind the line or opposite of the target, then you hit the ball fat. You would mark it in the app on your phone or watch accordingly. If the mark starts at the ball, the line where you placed it, or within 1 to 2 inches of the target side of the ball, you would mark this as good. That is typically where most good players are trying to hit it. It means the low point of the swing was on the target side of the ball and typically implies some amount of compression. If the mark starts significantly in front of the ball, or the line, then your low point is likely too far forward and you're probably experiencing thin contact. Mark this accordingly in the app. Keep taking swings, and after each swing, evaluate your divot and mark the shot accordingly on your phone or watch. If needed, you can redraw a line with your spray or use tees to make a new line. With each shot, as you mark the result in the app, try to internalize what that strike felt like to cause that result. You're trying to build a repertoire of feel and relating that strike quality to the feeling and feedback you get in both your hands and your ears. This is a skill you want to cultivate so that when you're playing real rounds, you can take note and absorb how you're striking the ball to guide your practice. Performing the drill with a divot board. With the ball in the middle of your divot board, you'll take a swing to advance the ball to your target. Take a look at the divot board. There should be a mark on the board indicating where your club struck the mat. If there's not a mark, or the mark is very thin, then you did not have a divot, and that would be considered very thin. Mark it as none in the app, as there was no divot. Now, assuming you did make a mark on the board, let's pay special attention to where the divot starts. If it starts behind the line, or opposite of the target, then you hit the ball fat. You would mark it accordingly in the app on your phone or watch. If the mark starts at the ball, the line where you placed it, or within 1 to 2 inches on the target side of the ball, you'd mark this as good. That's typically where most good players are trying to hit it. It means the low point of the swing was on the target side of the ball and typically implies some amount of compression. If the mark starts significantly in front of the ball or the line, then your low point is likely too far forward and you're probably experiencing thin contact. Mark this accordingly in the app. Drill takeaways. This drill develops low point control. Low point control is critical for consistent strike quality, which improves distance control and even direction. If you can't control the low point, you'll struggle with fat and thin shots that don't get to the target. Your score will be an accumulation of points for each shot. You score points by compressing the ball properly with a low point in front of the ball. Thin and fat shots will not score points. In your drill summary, you'll be shown a breakdown of your low point control. you should be getting more than 80% of your shots to be proper divots before advancing levels. The divot drill starts from close distance and increases in distance from the hole with each level. Progressing through this drill, you'll develop a feel for each of those distance, which is perfect for translating to real shots on the golf course. As you progress, you'll be taking bigger swings with longer clubs, which may change your tendencies and your skill level. It gets harder to control low point accurately the bigger the swing for most people, and the longer the club. Challenge yourself to be able to finely tune your low point control and develop your recognition skill with this drill. Tips to improve. If you're still struggling, another cool trick to do is to take a thin towel and fold it and place it a few inches behind the golf ball. Try to hit the ball without disturbing the towel. This will promote a downward angle of attack, which is what you want with wedges and irons. You'll learn to compress the ball as it will be the only way to miss the towel and still hit the ball flush. If you're struggling to control the low point, there are several easy things you can experiment with. Try moving the ball forward and backwards in your stance. Typically, moving the ball backwards will move the low point towards the target side of the ball, and moving the ball forwards in your stance will promote moving the low point away from the target side of the ball. You can also try moving closer or further from the ball. If you're standing too far from the ball, that typically promotes a thin strike. If you're standing too close to the ball, that typically promotes a fat strike. Play with ball position until you are comfortable. Keep in mind that sometimes our subconscious will make adjustments to prevent the above from helping, but the key is to experiment until you can find what works for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below this video and let's improve together.